Hey guys, how's it going? It is a beautiful day here in Eastern Oregon. The temperature feels very fresh, but the sun is out and it's relatively still. We're coming off of a couple of really windy days, so it already feels wonderful out here today. My main goal for our projects today is to do some tidying. I need to prune a couple of trees, clean up a couple of perennials. I would like to plant one of the sugar thyme crab apples that the Schwope Brothers farm sent out. I found the perfect spot when we were out looking for spots for the haywire cypress the other day. We stumbled upon just the perfect area out by the pole barn, so I'd like to get that planted if we have the chance. But we're out here in the south garden, kind of on our way there to the formal flower garden. You can see that everything still looks really pretty. It's very fresh still. I mean, for October, it's looking great. Also, a little update. Remember the heirloom mums that we planted out? They're all starting to bloom around the garden where we popped them in. And that is so exciting to me. But as we were walking around the garden the other day for our October garden tour, I just realized that some perennials like this is a silver lining artemisia. It's performing beautifully, but it's encroaching on the walkway quite a lot. I mean, we've got less than a foot right here to get through, and you can see where the walkway is. It comes right through here. So I kind of just want to go around and do little tidy ups like that. Probably not full cutbacks because they still look pretty good. And then over here on the other side, you can see this prairie fire crabapple is absolutely wild, and it's growing down. It's kind of covering the things that are below it a little bit too much. You can see right here, I mean, like this big branch, I think I'm going to take that out completely right here. I just want to lift this canopy up a little bit. And the poor thing, I mean, it doesn't even stand a chance because look at how many crab apples this thing has produced. And that adds so much weight to these branches. So anyway, that's what we're gonna start off doing. And then in the end, Aaron's mowing right now. So I think he wants to get quite a lot of the grass mowed today. And then when he's all done, we'll kind of regroup and see if we have time to get that tree in. But for these projects, pretty simple on the tool front here. I've got my gloves, got my Felcos, got my kneeling pad right here, and then I also brought out some loppers, a little shrub rake, and then our pop-up bag. All right, so we're just gonna get started with these two plants, and then we will start making our way around the garden and just taking care of things just like this in other spots. Well, that's an improvement. My goodness. Now we can navigate this walkway so much easier. And the artemisia still looks pretty. All right, crab apples next. my goodness, it looks like a tree now instead of a large shrub. Look at that. We were able to expose the triple trunk down there at the bottom. I mean, this tree is clearly happy where it's at. So productive. And now I think everything underneath it will be happier. I was considering moving. These are Supreme Cantaloupe Echinacea. And of all things in this bed, I noticed that those were not as productive and as happy this year. And I think it was because they were just shrouded by the overgrowth of this crabapple tree. And here's a look kind of coming around the corner. Look at that. I mean, I took some big branches out too, like from down below, but it looks so much better. I love being able to get a little peek at what's going on the other side. So we ended up with way more in the gator than I had anticipated. Let's go unload. All right, next thing we're gonna clean out is this container. And if we get back in here, I don't know exactly how, I'm gonna go around this way. Yeah, I think this is an easier way to access. Ooh, you will see that it's very spent. We've got budworm damage on it. There were some aphid, yeah, I can see aphid damage on it and live aphids. So it's done, it's ready to go. This is pretty easy stuff right here. This I planted as a hanging basket in the container. So I'm just gonna pop the roots out from the center. And there we go, pretty much. We are so close to our first frost, I think. Our low for the next week is 36. So we actually started letting the chickens free range so that they could enjoy some greenery before it dies back. They've been staring at all those annuals in front of their run all season long. And I thought, you know what, at the end of the week, they're probably gonna look pretty bad. So let's just let the chickens enjoy for a little bit. But it looks better just to have those gone than struggling in the pot. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm just driving back through here just to make sure I did not miss any branches. Sometimes they fall out as I drive off, but look at that crabapple. Oh my gosh, it looks so much better. Oh, I'm loving that. These containers don't look the best, but they still have some color, so we'll leave them for a while longer. But I did want to clean this pine out a bit. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but we did plant it together. And as you can see, it's wanting to cast a bunch of needles. And trees will do this for different reasons. They're kind of holding on here. Pines typically do it once a year in our area anyway. The interior needles just kind of dry up and they want to come off. These are not wanting to release though. Sometimes it can be other issues if the tree is stressed, if it's getting too much water, which this area has been notoriously hard to get the water levels right. You might remember all of the creeping Veronica underneath those birch trees. It was like a bog over there because of how hard the soil is. So I basically just want to clean as many of the needles off of this pine as I can. And it's an easy job to do. And then monitor it. If it continues to go downhill, we might need to remove it and put it somewhere else and work on the soil in this spot. I should also mention that this pine is supposed to be this really light silvery kind of green color. It's not supposed to be deep green. All right, it's looking a little bit better, but a lot of the needles were not ready to come off yet. So I did the best I could, and then we'll just monitor this one. And pine trees too can cast needles oftentimes due to like fungal issues, and there's many different fungal issues that can affect them. Usually spread through water, like hitting the needles, improper circulation and that kind of thing, which is not usually the case for us because we are such a dry climate. But they also can be affected by needle cast if they're not given enough water too. So it's one of those things that you just have to start eliminating certain things, like dig around in the soil, check the water content. And if you see that it's too much water, back off on it. If it looks dry, maybe give it a little bit more. Make sure that you've cut things away from it. Now this one has roses in front of it, but by and large, it's pretty open to the air, and we get lots of dry wind through here. I mean, most of the tree is exposed and there's not a whole lot going on the other side. And it's also being watered by a drip system, not overhead sprinklers, which can also cause the problem. But in my experience in our area anyway, I just usually see pines cast some of their needles once a year. It seems like they're casting in a cycle, and then they push new needles and all of that business. So anyway, we'll see what happens over here. It has been a problem spot, so it might be something we need to address. And there was just a bumblebee on this chase tree. Where'd it go? Bet you we can find it on a delphinium. Or not. Huh, it must have moved on. And so shall we. Let's find the next thing to take care of. We're gonna take a little cruise around the loop here. I think things in here are pretty good at the moment. I don't think there's anything major we need to address. I mean, a lot of things need to be deadheaded. I mean, if you look at any of the roses, they're kind of loaded with spent blooms, but I'm kind of not worried about that at this point. Oh, you want to see a pocket of annuals that doesn't look tired in the slightest. A lot of our annuals are showing signs of, being done, but not these. This is the Supertunia Mini Vista Pink Cloud. Highly recommend. White Knight Lobularia, this is improved. So better bloom coverage, larger blooms, and then we've got the Stormburst Superbina. My goodness, that's been just a really beautiful spot. Okay. I mean, even things like this, that's Agastache, which is clearly tired, but I just kind of like to leave it up for the structure of it in the fall. You just kind of expect things to look that way. Oh, you know what? Let's cut these peonies back. Check this out. Look at the powdery mildew. Oh, so we've got this one here. Let's see. We've got this one right back here. And then there's another one that's tucked around the back side here. Doesn't look as bad, but I'm going to take all three of them back. And I've got a different variety of peony right here. It's an Ito, and it doesn't look bad yet. And usually if they haven't been taken over by powdery mildew, they do provide some really pretty fall color. So I'll wait on this one. Those look bad. Okay, well, we got to go locate my falcos first. I either dumped them out with our last load or they fell off the gator at some point. Let's retrace our steps. Now we can check everything else out to make sure that we don't need to cut anything else back over here. I don't think so. Okay, keep your eyeballs peeled. Look at the lane, and then let's go to the pile and see if they might be in there. All right, let's see if they came out with this load. Oh geez, okay. I don't either. Well, you know what? It's possible they're in the grass, kind of where we started. Okay, well, let's try the grass. Okay, we turned right here. Everybody keep your eyes peeled. Some red handles. Red handles. I didn't leave them on the stone pathway, did I? No. Over there.
See them. It could be. Maybe come over here.
Then we went like this. I didn't put them over here, did I? Nope. Here. And we did come over here. You can see our tracks.
Whatever that thing was.
The grasshopper, I think. Around the curve. Okay, this is a mystery. I don't know where my pruners went. Well, did not find my original pruners. They'll turn up somewhere. That is so weird. We retraced our steps twice, and I really went through the pile because I thought, well, I probably tucked them down in the back and then maybe they drug out with everything when I pulled it all out, but I actually don't think I set them back there. I think I put them on the front of the gator and they fell off somewhere. It is just so odd that I don't see them. Usually with the red handles are really helpful that way. Oh well, we'll move on. I went and got another pair, so let's take after these peonies. All right, well, the kids and I just ran around and looked at everything, and I think we are pretty good in terms of maintenance. I just wanted to get those little things done, and it feels so good, especially when you get to the point where like more stuff can be cleaned out, more annuals can be cleaned out, and there's so much to do. It's nice when you've been chipping away at those little things that you just don't have to think about anymore. So I am on my way to go get the tractor so we can pick up the crabapple and bring it back out here. Okay, I have to remember every time how to start this. Okay, that's not on. And there it is. It looks beautiful in this spot. I love it. So this is again, the sugar thyme crabapple. Guides will tell you, depending on where you're getting your information, that this tree will grow anywhere from 10 to 20 feet tall and anywhere from 10 to 15 feet wide. So in the end, it's going to be kind of a medium-sized tree, and I think it's going to fit in just beautifully back over here. And it has white blooms in the spring that are followed by these beautiful crab apples that turn a really bright red. You can see some of them right up there. And in this same area, we do have a scarlet oak and a blue atlas cedar, and then we've got some North Pole arborvitaes that will stay nice and slender. And we've got a lilac. I think this is an angel white right here. We just recently planted this red chief miscanthus. We've got a chautauqua and a Montana moss juniper that we planted out this year. Look at this chautauqua, just loving it out here. Austrian pine, show-off forsythias, Leyland cypress, and so on. It's just filling up out here. And you guys, that is going to be it for today's projects. Just a little bit of maintenance and really just a once over. Like, I put my eyes on everything on the property, just trying to gauge, you know, timing and when we're going to be doing things. And it's kind of weather driven too. It's going to warm up a little bit this week, and then it looks like it might cool off again, but we do have that one night that's going to be 36 degrees. So we're heading into fall, that's for sure. We're heading into deeper into fall. But I'm really happy with the things we got done, especially that crabapple pruning that was sort of weighing on me. I kept looking, like side-eyeing it as I was going by and knowing I needed to get that done. And it gave that spot just air and light, and I feel like I can breathe looking at it. And I just feel like that was so great. And then I love having this crabapple here. Any crabapple anywhere I love. I think they're great. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.